A thunderous long-range shot. A perfect curve that nestled directly into the corner of the net. As if it were programmed to be unerring. The entire stadium fell silent for a few seconds before erupting, but not all were sounds of celebration. On the KAA Gent bench, the face of the home team's coach was petrified, while goalkeeper David Rofe, despite stretching to his fullest, could only watch the ball roll into the net in despair. The earthquake named Anthony did not stop within the boundaries of the pitch. On social media, the video of the goal spread at breakneck speed. Passionate fans, admiring experts, and football legends nodded in approval. Some compared the shot to the cannon-like strikes of Cristiano Ronaldo, while others saw shades of Arjen Robben in Anthony's every touch of the ball. Anthony stepped onto the Ghelamco Arena pitch with the aura of a conqueror. This match was not simply a contest between two teams, but for him personally, it was also an opportunity to assert himself, to silence the doubts that had surrounded him during his difficult months in Manchester. From the very first minutes, one could see a very different Anthony. Every touch of the ball, every pass, every movement carried a sense of purpose. With 53 touches, 34 out of 40 accurate passes, he achieved an 85% success rate. Anthony did not simply appear on the field, he actively participated in the rhythm of the match, becoming an important link in Real Betis' system. However, Anthony's performance was not limited to mere statistics. He thrilled the audience with his smooth ball control, his speedy dribbling, and his intelligent positioning. As the ball rolled into the 47th minute, the magical moment occurred. Youssouf Sabaly glimpsed Anthony moving into space, slightly to the right wing, and immediately passed the ball to him. Anthony controlled it neatly, took a dribbling touch to create space before unleashing a decisive left-footed shot. The trajectory of the ball was so beautiful that it seemed to draw every eye in the stadium to it. The shot was as straight as an arrow, flying towards the bottom corner of the goal with a speed too fast for goalkeeper David Rofe to react. The sound of the ball hitting the net echoed like a resounding declaration that Anthony had returned. Reverberating through the stands, the Betis fans jumped up to celebrate, while on the other side, the stunned faces of the KAA Gent players said it all. They hadn't imagined they would be defeated in this way. But Anthony was not just a flash of brilliance, he was the soul of Betis' operation. In this match, with the presence of Isco and Giovanni Lo Celso, Anthony had more freedom in his off-the-ball movements. He constantly exploited the space between the opponent's defensive lines, seeking to stretch Gent's formation to open up space for his teammates. His only key pass also demonstrated his sharp tactical vision, a clever through ball that opened up a dangerous attacking opportunity. Not just a direct attacking threat, Anthony was also willing to contribute to the defense, with one successful tackle and one interception. The combination of Anthony, Isco, and Lo Celso helped Betis create a smooth gameplay, constantly putting Gent on the defensive. Every time Betis organized an attack, Anthony was always an important connecting point. His secure ball control prevented him from being drawn into unnecessary challenges, while also giving his teammates more time to move. Anthony's composure in this match was something he rarely showed before, when he was wearing the Manchester United jersey. While at Old Trafford, many criticized him for being overly elaborate, excessively using unnecessary technical moves. But at Betis, Anthony is gradually transforming. He still retains his artistic flair, but at the same time, he is also more pragmatic, more effective. The match ended with a 3-0 victory for Real Betis. But the mark Anthony left went far beyond a simple result. It was an affirmation that he still retained the value of a player who was once valued at £85 million. After the match, coach Manuel Pellegrini had nothing but praise for Anthony in the press conference. His goal was fantastic, but what I'm most pleased with is how Anthony contributed to the overall gameplay. He played with more maturity, knowing when to accelerate and when to hold the ball. I think Anthony is gradually rediscovering his best version. Those words of praise, though brief, contained the most valuable recognition Anthony could receive at this time. He didn't just score, he's proving that he still has what it takes to shine on the big stage. 3 years ago, Anthony arrived at Manchester United for a colossal fee of £85 million. He was expected to be the perfect piece in the team's style of play. His tricky dribbling and trademark curling shots had made him one of the brightest talents at Ajax Amsterdam, and people believed he could replicate that in the Premier League. But life isn't a dream. The pressure from the record transfer fee quickly turned into a burden. And every time Anthony took the field, all eyes scrutinized his every touch. His days at Old Trafford were like a deadlocked chess game. One good game followed by 3 lackluster ones. A moment of brilliance followed by a descent into disappointment. Consistency remained an elusive luxury for Anthony. Under Erik ten Hag, Anthony still had opportunities to prove himself. But when Ruben Amorim arrived, everything changed dramatically. Amorim no longer placed his trust in the Brazilian player. And the stark statistics clearly reflected that. In his last 5 games before leaving United, Anthony played only 20 minutes. As rumors of a squad overhaul gradually became reality, Anthony understood that he needed an escape. And Real Betis, a team not overly glamorous but on the rise, welcomed him with open arms. A less pressured destination, but also an opportunity for rebirth. Under the guidance of coach Manuel Pellegrini, Anthony is no longer confined by prejudice. No longer a flop criticized in the press. Instead, he has become one of Real Betis's key pillars. A player who can change the course of a match. The changes in his playing style are the clearest evidence of his transformation. If at Manchester United, Anthony was often criticized for his individualistic play and poor decision-making. At Betis, he has learned to play smarter. He knows when to dribble, when to pass, and when to hold the ball to wait for support from his teammates. In addition, his finishing ability has also improved significantly, with the goal against KAA Gent being the most compelling evidence. Not only contributing to the attack, Anthony has also begun to participate in defensive duties. The fierce pressing, the times he tracked back to support the defense, all show a clear maturity. And most importantly, the confidence has returned to his eyes. When Anthony celebrated the goal against KAA Gent, it was not just the joy of a goalscorer, but also the relief of a player who had found himself after long days of being lost. The European press was also quick to react. Marca, Spain, ran a headline: "Anthony has rediscovered himself with a thunderous shot." Meanwhile, L'Équipe of France posed a question that made many people think: do Man United regret letting Anthony go? Sky Sports UK even described it as a super goal that any player would dream of. The British media began to question the decision to let Anthony leave Old Trafford, especially as United's attack is lacking a player capable of creating breakthroughs. Anthony's future, which once seemed to have reached a dead end, is now a hot topic in the transfer market. Will Real Betis activate the option to buy him permanently? Or will Manchester United consider bringing him back to correct their mistake? Even other big clubs like Napoli and AC Milan have begun to closely monitor Anthony's form. From a doubted player, he now has the opportunity to reassert his name in Europe. Anthony is living the best days of his career since leaving Ajax. At Real Betis, he is no longer an expensive signing, scrutinized every day, but has become a key player. Someone who can turn the tide of the match. The wonder goal against KAA Gent is not just a moment of brilliance. It could be the turning point that brings him back to his true level. A player who was once doubted about his ability to adapt in Europe is now becoming Betis's biggest hope in their quest to conquer the UEFA Conference League. With a convincing 3-0 victory, Real Betis are showing that they are a force to be reckoned with in this competition. Their cohesive play, sharp attack, and solid defensive system make them a genuine contender for the title. If Anthony continues to maintain this form, Betis will have even more reason to dream big. The biggest question right now is where Anthony's future lies. Man United is probably watching very closely what he is showing in Spain. Will they give him another chance to prove himself at Old Trafford? Or will Betis try to keep a gem that is gradually shining? Many other teams could also enter the race, only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Anthony is making all of Europe take notice.